Taking a look at some national news, Harvard University is suing the Trump administration after the government said the school can no longer enroll foreign students. The White House announced the ban on Thursday, and the federal government claims Harvard created an unsafe environment on campus, including allowing violent protests. A federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration move on Thursday. Meanwhile, the school's nearly 7,000 foreign students are left in limbo.
Harvard brought these consequences upon themselves. They have promoted and allowed violent activity on campus. They have allowed anti-Semitism, participation with CCP and Chinese infiltration and influence on their campus.
It's another pattern of the Trump administration taking authoritarian actions. In the United States, the president does not have the power to punish people, target people for punishment because he doesn't like their politics.
The Trump administration is also accusing Columbia University of ignoring discrimination against Jewish students. The White House says it will keep looking for unsafe environments at colleges nationwide. A judge has halted President Trump's plan to dismantle the education department. The ruling orders 1,300 laid-off employees to be reinstated and stops all restructuring efforts. The judge says President Trump's executive order violates laws and added only Congress can shut down an agency. The administration is calling the ruling an overreach, and they're expected to appeal. And a just-passed Senate bill on no taxes on tips could cause a dent in tax revenues over time. An economic analyst says the Senate's new No Tax on Tips Act standalone bill, which is not yet considered by the House, it could cost Americans' tax revenue base about $40 billion over 4 years, or about $10 billion a year. The bill could allow for a deduction of $25,000 a year on tip revenue for service workers. A foundation executive says the economy wouldn't likely be affected due to the small service industry workforce by percent. But Congress would still look for other revenues to offset the bill's provision. The House just passed its Big Beautiful bill, as labeled by President Trump on Thursday, but it only proposes a deduction from a portion of tip income excluded from federal taxes. The Department of Agriculture is working with some states to cut junk food purchases from SNAP benefits. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins announced that she has signed waivers with 3 states, Nebraska, Indiana, and Iowa, and removing unhealthy junk food buying from federally funded but state-administered supplemental nutrition assistance programs. The moves were announced at a Make America Healthy Again event with President Trump and HH Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The event was part of a federal initiative to curb chronic diseases.
On track to sign multiples of SNAP waivers to get junk food and sugary drinks out of our food stamp system. And I am so proud. I am so proud to announce that on Monday I was in Nebraska with Governor Pillen, where we signed the first one. An hour ago, I signed the second one for Governor Braun in Indiana. He may not even know that. I've got it right here, sir. I also signed the third one, Governor Kim Reynolds of Iowa, about an hour ago. With a half a dozen more coming down the line.
And the bans are set to take effect on January 1st, 2026. Other Republican states, including Texas and West Virginia, are also asking for waivers. Secretary Rollins is from Texas, and she responded to Governor Abbott's request with a post saying she looks forward to reviewing the waiver ASAP. A move considered by President Trump could change mortgages and home ownership prospects for millions of Americans. President Trump says he's considering returning 2 federal mortgage holders, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, to the private sector and removing the federal government from the mortgage holding business. The 2 federally backed institutions buy mortgages from lenders and back them by securities and sell to investors, which help financial institutions issue more loans to home seekers. While the government could financially gain as much as $250 billion by privatizing them, it may also raise interest rates and worsen home buying prospects for people like first-time home buyers. Mr. Trump says he wants more internal discussions with the Treasury and Commerce Departments and Federal Housing Financing Agency before deciding their fate. President Trump, he signed a sweeping package of executive orders aimed at jumpstarting the U.S. nuclear industry and overhauling federal regulations. The White House calls the action the most significant reforms in decades. Fox's Mike Emanuel has the latest from Washington.
It's a hot industry. It's a brilliant industry.
In a move aimed at boosting nuclear energy production in the U.S., President Trump Friday signed 4 executive orders flanked by CEOs of several nuclear energy companies, as well as his defense and interior secretaries.
This is going to turn the clock back on over 50 years of overregulation of an industry.
At the core of the reform package, an order that forces the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to issue license decisions within 18 months. Currently, the process can take 5 to 10 years, but the orders also represent a further shift for the U.S. away from renewables to other energy sources, even as some communities across the country are working to expand renewable energy options for residents.
We have ambitious climate goals, sustainability goals.
Still, nuclear energy has been touted as a way to help transition away from fossil fuels and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, given nuclear power generates electricity without burning coal, oil, or natural gas. Plus, the Trump administration maintains these moves are necessary, particularly with growing electricity demand due to AI technology. A report released this month estimates demand in the U.S. will increase 25% by 2030 and will jump 78% by 2050.
If we're going to win AI, it is an energy-intensive manufacturing industry.
The president also signed a 5th executive order calling for restoration of, quote, gold standard science. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.